Hi there, hope you have a fantastic day today. This lesson I will teach you how to multiply algebraic expressions. Of course, there is a PDF versions on the description below for you to download so you can work with me. Otherwise, let's go straight into it. When we multiply algebra, so what we do, numbers, we multiply them together, and letters, we multiply them together. So for example, we have -2 times Q. So there's number -2, so no number in front of Q. So that means 1 there. Okay, so -2 times 1 is -2. So let me just write here, equal -2. And Q, we just write this down. So there you go. So -2 times Q is -2Q. Part B. So we have -2x with times -3y. So remember the numbers we times together. So -2 times -3. So that should give us 6. Otherwise, we can just go -2 times -3. So just go like this. -2 times -3. So there you go. So it's 6. So just write this down. So that is 6. And we have x and we times y. So x times y will give me xy. So we just write x, y. So that is 6xy. Part C. So remember numbers we times together, and with letters we just time them together. So in here we have two negative numbers. So we have a negative here and a negative. So if we times them together, the result should be positive. So keep that in mind. So we have 3 times 4 times 2. So 3 times 4 is 12. And 12 times 2 give me 24. Otherwise, we can just put on a calculator. So we have 3 and then the letter and the negative a. It means the number in front of a is -1. Okay, this means -1 there. Okay, because -1 times a is -a. And then we have 4 and then we have -2. We times them together. So we put in a calculator 3 times -1 times 4 times -2. So I just go 3 times -1 times 4 times -2. So 24. So there you go. So the answer is 24 for numbers. Then we have a and we times a. So a times a give me a square. So the answer is 24a square. For D, again we have numbers that is -5 with times -a. So 2 negative times together give me a positive answer. So 5 times 8 is 40. So the answer should be 40. Otherwise, I go -5 times -8. So there you go, 40. So the answer is 40. Then what we have is x, the letters. So x, we times with this x. So x times x will give me x squared. So the answer is 40x squared. Part E. So we have -3m times 2n times -4m. So again, we're dealing with number first, okay? If you think about it, we have two negative numbers times together. The answer should be positive. So we know that is positive answer. And we're just dealing with number first. So 3 times 2 give me 6. And 6 times 4 give me 24. Again, we can just put on a calculator. So just go -3 times 2 times -4. See, 24. So remember, I just did this. -3 times 2 times -4 with calculator. So that give me 24. And then for letters, we can see we have m here and m. We're dealing with m first. So m times m will give me m squared. And then we times n. So then we just write this down. Because m squared times n is m squared n. So there you go. Done. Now part F. So we have three negative numbers timed together. See, 1, 2, 3. And we know that the answer should be negative. Then we just go 3 here. And then we times with this 4. Give me 12. And we have 12 divided by 6 will give me 2. And 2 times 5 is 10. So the answer should be negative 10. Otherwise, I can just put in a calculator. So to put in a calculator, we just go negative 4 or minus 4 if you wish, times negative 3 times negative fractions 5 over 6. See, very simple. With numbers, if you're not good with your multiplication skills, of course, you can just use calculator, but you need to know the process, okay? So the answer is negative 10. And for letters, so we have A here, and we times A first. So A times A will give me A squared. And for B, we just write this down. So negative 10 A squared B. Please pause the video and try this one yourself. Hi there, I'm back. How did you go? Let me just go through them with you. Before I do that, please do not forget to give me a thumb up and subscribe if you haven't done so you can help me to grow my channel. So let's get into it. So first one, we have two negatives timed together, so give us a positive. So it's 5xy. Okay, keep that in mind. Otherwise, you know that negative y, it means negative 1 times y. So we have negative 5 with times negative 1. If you put on a calculator, you should get 5. So the answer is equal 5. And for the letters, we have x and we have y, or this y here. Okay, so x times y will give me x, y. So the answer is 5xy. Part B. So we have one negative number only. So that will give us a negative answer. And we go 2 times 4, give me 8. So negative 8, okay? Otherwise, so this means that times negative 1 times y if you wish, okay? So you can just simply put on a calculator, 2 times negative 1 times 4. So numbers, which is times number together. So that will give us equal. So that give me negative 8. And then we have x and we times y. So that will give me x, y. So there you go. Now part C. Again, we have two negatives timed together. So that gives us a positive answer. And then we just go 7 times 2. Okay, again, you can put in a calculator by pressing negative 2 times 7 times negative 1. Okay, number means this number here, negative 1 times cube. Keep that in mind. So the answer is 14. And we have P and we have Q. So P times Q will give me PQ. So PQ. There you go. Part D. So we have negative 2 times negative 3 times negative 1. Three numbers timed together will give us a negative answer. And then just go 2 times 3 times 1, because in front here is 1. Remember that. So we have 6. So the answer is 6. Otherwise, you can just use calculator. Negative 2 times negative 3 times negative 1. So your answer is negative 6. And now we're dealing with letters now. M, N, B. And we times them together will give us M, N, B. There you go. Part E. So we have two negative numbers times together, give you a positive. So 1 times 2 is 2. Otherwise, just put negative 1 times negative 2 on your calculator. The answer is 2. And now, letter, we have B times B and A. Let's write in alphabet order first, okay? Let's do it. So A, we write down. And we have B, and we times B. And B times B is B squared. There you go. Let's do part F. So we have 3 negatives times together, so give us a negative answer. So you can just write negative down first. And now we have 3, that means 1, okay? 3 times 1, and we times 6. So 3 times 1 is 3, and we times 6, give me 18. Again, you just put on a calculator, minus 3 times minus 1 times minus 6. Or negative 1 times negative 3 times negative 6. So the answer is negative 18. Because 6 times 3 is 18 if you wish. And then now we have T, which is T here, times U times V. So T times U times V. So T, U, V. There you go. Part G. So we have negative 6, we times negative 4, we times negative 3, 8. So the answer should be negative because 3 negatives numbers times together. Okay, odd negative. So it should give us a negative answer. So now we just go 6 times 4 is 24. Then we divide by 8 will give me 3. And 3 times 3 is 9. Again, let me just put on a calculator. So I just go negative 6 times negative 4 times negative. I go 3 fractions 8. See? Negative 9. So the answer is negative 9. And letters X, Y, Z. We'll just write this down. Times together, so become X, Y, Z. So there you go. H. So let me just put on a calculator by pressing negative 5, 2/3, and times negative 3. So just go negative 5, we times 2/3, and we just times negative 3. So there you go, 10. So equal 10. And we have W, we times W, give me W squared, and T here, which is right, W squared T, or T, W squared, whichever way, doesn't really matter. I, we have 3 negatives, numbers times together, result is negative. And we just go 5 times 2, 10. 10 times 3, 30. Otherwise, you just go negative 5 times negative 2 times negative 3 on your calculator. As simple as that. So that gives me 30. And we have W times W, give me W squared. T, we just write this down. So there you go. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you got all of them correct. Bye.